Good morning, Vinny and Shorty B. How are you? Hi, Vero. How are you? Hi, Nelson. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Charlie. So glad to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in this morning. And we are live on all platforms. Good morning, Jerome. Is that how you say your name? We are live on all platforms. I put on one of the wrong effect, as you can see, and it is um, definitely doing its jam behind me. So we're going to try a different one. How about that one? There we go. It's a little bit better. All right. How was that? It's a little bit better though. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So glad that you guys are here. Welcome in. Gonna let a few more people come in the rooms. Good morning, Veronica. Good morning, Queen. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, Facebook and YouTube. How are you guys doing today? Today we're going to be talking about faith over fear and weight loss and wellness, as we have always done for the last 40 days. Today is actually day 41. Can you guys believe it? That we have made it 41 straight days. Like, can you believe that? We've actually been going live every day, encouraging each other to look at our fears and to walk into our faith for exactly 41 days. And I don't know about you, but many people, good morning, Kiki. Good morning, Lilium. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Kimberly. Many people always say, I have a hard time doing stuff for a long period of time. And I always say, start. And then even if you fall off, start again. And then if you fall off, start again. And like keep starting, keep like starting over. Because what will eventually happen is you'll create a pattern. But most of the time when we start something, because we don't stick to it, we just stop. We don't think to pick it back up and keep going. So if you've been joining me for the reading and you've missed a couple, no worries, just come on back. If you're part of the Irish tribe and you've fallen off or feel like you've fallen off, I don't believe you fall off. So don't worry about it. Just come on back. Good morning, Mocha. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Ottawa. How are you? So no matter where you are in life right now, look at the fear, face it with faith, and if you've fallen off, just get back up. There's no rule written anywhere ever that it's where it says that you are not allowed to fall down and then get back up. And what happens is after we've fallen down so much, we lose the will to want to get up. So today, in today's reading, I want you to take in what we read from 365 Days of Fear Not. I want you to allow it to penetrate your spirit, penetrate your mind, and then I want you to figure out what you need. Take what you like and leave the rest. That's my rule here. Everything won't apply to you. Everything won't qualify you. So take what you like and leave the rest. But what I can tell you is that whatever it is that you may be going through in your life at one point or another, in my life, I've experienced something similar to it. And when I can tell you you can come back, I believe it to be facts. I like to stand firm on the fact that God is still doing miracles, even the ones that you cannot see. So welcome in this morning to Daily Reading with Coach Kenya. And we are facing our fears, facing our fronts in our lives, in our wellness, and in our health. Because if you don't have your mindset together, good morning, Crochet Queen, good morning, good morning. If you don't have your mindset in this game, if you're trying to start a business, start a hustle, save money, buy a house, you need your mindset to be in the game for those things. If you think these big goals that you want are easily accomplishable, if you just think about them and think about how you're going to do them, you'll still be thinking about them in 20 years. But if you then put action to those thoughts and look at the fear that may be preventing you from digging in, guess what will happen? You will start doing something toward that goal. And before you know it, you'll have created whatever it is you dreamed of. But you got to start somewhere. Good morning, Cool Granny. Good morning, Mocha, the plus size models. Welcome in, beautiful. So you got to be willing to dig in somewhere. And a lot of people I always tell people, when you're working with me, what I hope to give you is all the knowledge, scientific and educational and mentally based knowledge you need to overcome any mentally associated feelings or emotions that you may have to your health and wellness. Everybody big ain't sick. Everybody sick ain't big. Everybody big ain't obese. Everybody thin don't lack. Everybody thin ain't regular, is what I'm trying to say. There are people that are small that struggle with some of the same similar issues as people who struggle with obesity. That is why it's important that we educate ourselves on our struggles. If we find like we've been going through the same thing over and over, don't keep just guessing at it. Go find real help. There's no law or no rule that says that the circumstances you're in right now, you have to stay there just because you haven't found a solution yet. Good morning, Jordan family. Good morning, Azibi. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Victor. There's no rule anywhere that says just because you haven't figured it out yet that you have to stay where you are because you don't know the plan next. I declare and decree that is not the truth. That is not factual for you or for me. For you or for me. So today we're on day 41. We've been doing this thing for 41 days. Yep. How many of you have tried to do something consistently for 3 days and struggle? Good morning, Queen Bellamy. But I can tell you right now, Mocha been showing up every day. Queen been rocking with me every day. I got women been showing up and men been showing up every day. So we can read together just to do something different that's pulling something positivity into their mind and their body. It's plenty of drama and gossip and stuff to worry about and people's business to meddle in on this app. But how many of you are willing to sit still long enough and watch something on this app that's going to fortify who you are? That ain't got no gossip. That ain't got no drama. That ain't got no cussing. Ain't got no booty shaking or loud, violent music. How many of us are truly willing to be still quiet enough, long enough so we can get strong enough to get where we need to be? That's all I'm talking about right now. That's it. I'm not saying you can't do those things. I'm saying, did you know that in the silence of one's own mind is freedom? Many of us can't sit still in our own skin. Many of us can't sit quietly in our own thoughts. Many of us need to be in the middle of something. We need to be talking about somebody else's stuff. We need to be in the midst of some type of something, or we feel like we can't exist. That's not normal. If you waking up wanting to be in the middle of drama, check yourself. That ain't normal. If you find yourself things are going good and you go create gossip, you go create drama, you go create lies out the sky, get help. That ain't normal. If every time somebody say something you think they talking about you, get help. That ain't normal. Some of us have lived around so long on the pains of our experiences that we walk around here psychiatrically unstable and don't even know it. We don't even realize that's just how she is. That ain't normal. Okay? Psychosis, narcissism, anxiousness, and depression can show up in control, bullying, harassment, rage, screaming, hollering, gossip, drama. Know what you're looking for. Know what your angst is. Know what your dig is. I know mine. Know what your moral defects are. So many of us are pointing outward that the problem is we ain't pointing inward and staying pointed inward. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always something else's fault. It's never your fault. It's never your responsibility. Well, if that hadn't happened, then I would have been able to suck it up and get going. Suck it up and make it happen. Stop talking about what didn't happen when you tried it 10 years ago and try again. Now you got knowledge, experience, and strength. Now you got something to fall back on. Now you got some experiences. If you started that business before and it didn't work, guess what? Now you got business experience, baby. You went to school and didn't finish. Now you got school experience. Go back. You started that side hustle and you gave it to somebody else because you didn't think it's what you wanted and now you want it back. Take it back. Who says you don't get a redo? Who says you don't get a do-over? Second chances aren't dead. The desire to take them is. Hope is not dead. The desire to believe in it is. I don't want to cause no problems today. Let's get into it. Day 41. I don't want to do that. Miss Hartford, good morning. Good morning, Time is not. Good morning, Fran and Sonia and Adam and Stephen and Lola Prime. And I think it's Bentisha. Am I saying it right? Good morning, Queen and Veronica. Good morning, Mia. Thank you guys so much for the likes. Thank you guys so much. I know I always forget to tell you to hit the like button, but I usually use the like button just as a way so I can know that you're in the live. Because usually when it's low views, it's okay. I just go ahead and do the reading and post it. But I like to make sure, good morning, TR. I like to make sure when you're here that I'm talking directly to you. And then when it's for me, all of this is for me, right? Y'all know I'm always talking to myself. I'm always allowing the higher power and the Holy Spirit to work on me too. Y'all know I don't think I'm perfect showing up here, right? Y'all know I'm the opposite of most leaders. I'm the opposite of most coaches. I believe that we're doing this together. I believe that everything, thank you guys so much for the gifts in our life. Good morning, Stephen and Cowboy. I believe that we're on a journey to better together. It doesn't matter how long I've been doing it. It doesn't matter if I've lost 479 pounds naturally. It doesn't matter if I've overcome alcohol and food addiction. It doesn't matter if I have multiple degrees and multiple business and multiple experiences. It doesn't matter if I've overcome all the diseases that most people say you can't overcome. It doesn't matter, because I'm still human. I still know pain. And I still got to be willing to show up on a regular basis to deal with that thing. Because no matter how far I advance, if I don't remember that I need to stay steadfast in my mindset, my higher power, my willingness to drive through, the past that haunts me will come back and haunt me again. Because that damage and that pain and that emotions can creep up inside of my life through other things. So I stay alert. I stay active. And I stay aware. Miss Hartford, I'm praying my brother overcome alcohol addiction. I have been sober for 4 years. It is possible. Stay in prayer. And I would suggest, if you haven't done it already, I actually went to Al-Anon. That's how I learned that I was basically what they call an alcoholic with a whole lot of not yet, which means is if I continue to consume alcoholic beverages the way I was going to end up like those people you hear about. So I include myself in that crowd. I am a recovering alcoholic. And I'm grateful. Good morning, Stephanie Divine, and a recovering food addict. Those are called co-occurring diseases and addictions. And what that means is that when I'm not able to eat in addictive nature, I will drink in an addictive nature. And because alcohol breaks down to sugar, I'm still getting high off of that same thing. And so what I had to do was remove the alcohol from my life. Because when I could not overeat my emotions, I would seek liquor. I would seek that vodka. I would go get a shot. When I couldn't overeat, follow me. This is for somebody who's noticing their drinking is picked up. They've cut back. They're vegan now, but they're drinking a bottle of wine every night. Watch yourself, baby. It's called countertransference. You can transfer the obsession from the actual act of eating to things like dieting, gym, calorie counting, tracking apps, etc., including alcohol, edibles. Breaks down to sugar. If that's your jam. I come to you raw because I want you to know that I'm not speaking to you in space of lack of experience. I'm speaking to you in space of experience. Because if we're not careful, any one thing will become the vice to deal with those emotions. Any one thing will soothe us wrongly. Any one thing will send us in a pathway that may not do us beneficial things in the long run. It's not that it didn't work for us in the beginning. Thank you so much, Spencer Simone. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the gift, guys. Thank you for the love. It's not that, like, peep this game, peep this pathway. It's not that that's what we set out to do in the beginning, right? I didn't start drinking more because I wanted to become an alcoholic. I started drinking more because I was cutting back on eating, and I noticed that I was losing weight. And see, when I start losing weight, I start feeling myself. When I start feeling myself, I start wanting to go out more. When I start wanting to go out more, there's nothing out there but liquor, booty shaking, and other people. So I began to disappear in booty shaking, liquor, and other people. You see, I just switched that disease right on up. I just switched it up to the most current thing. You know, everybody was feeling me because I was thin now. So I switched it up to obsessing about my weight, the scale, what I look like, the photos, the selfies, the hair, the nails, the lace fronts of the wig, and I still wasn't dealing with Kenya. So after dropping almost 468 pounds naturally, when I took that belt and tried to hang myself over the back of my bedroom door, I knew that I had a problem. Because see, I was walking around here just like many of you in these lives hollering, I got to lose weight so I can get healthy. I got to lose weight so I can get healthy. Yeah, I lost that weight. The problem is I didn't deal with my brain. So I was never healthy. I was a psychiatric, unstable, suicidal, hot mess. Walking around here, lost all that weight naturally. And was still a mess. Why? Because I was trying to avoid the problem. The problem was I was still willing to eat and drink over the molestation. The problem was I was still eating and drinking over the domestic violence. The problem was I was still eating and drinking over the man that left me on my deathbed. The problem was I was still eating and drinking over the neglected mom, the mom that neglected me. The point is I was drinking and eating over the family that neglected me. The point is I was still doing things from what they had did to me back then, and they weren't even doing it no more. They were still winning. See, it was never about the weight. It was about the pain that led to the food, that led to the drinking, that led to the thinking, that led to the expression of it on the outward side. I was 592 pounds of broken, abused, neglected, rejected pain. That's what I lost. That's how I got free. I stopped living in this facade that if I just get skinny enough, something would happen. I've tried it all. I've done it all. And it broke down to me simply drinking one shake a day and being honest about my mental health and my wellness, being honest about the ways I was living and treating people, being honest about my victimized nature and mindset that had come from a traumatized childhood. Being willing to walk outside of the fear, being willing to look outside of who I thought I was and accepting a possible identity that did not match where I came from. You see, I no longer had to put on the front of the victimized, always willing to agree, the people pleaser, the people doer. I was finally able to be free. I began to realize that one struggle or one concept I had not grabbed in all these amazing things I had done was that I was valuable regardless of what I had been through or what I looked like in the moment, and that a look did not change how much I loved me. See, I got skinny and I still hated who I was. See, many of you are wrapped up on some facade where you're going to look down at that scale and it's going to give you a special number. And from that number, your self-esteem is going to blow through the roof. Your self-love and self-value and self-worth and self-boundaries are all going to explode, and you're suddenly going to be whole again because a number popped up. Well, I'm here to tell you 479 pounds and healthy later that's not quite how it works. I wanted to work like that. I needed to work like that. For many of you women and men who suffer and are struggling and are where I was, I wanted to work like that. But I need you to know, if you don't open your horizon, is expand your thinking about this thing you're dealing with, you're digging through, you will show up like many have on these apps year after year, resolution after resolution, saying start over with me again. The most heartbreakful thing is I've been on many of these apps for about 6 straight years, and I've watched many queens who I follow fall off and on what they call their journey to health. I often comment on their posts and encourage them and send them love. I never offer my services because that's not who I am. It's not about me commenting to tell you I sell you something. It's about me telling you that you don't have to quit. It's about me saying to you, sis, no matter where you've been, you keep showing up. What if the depression is keeping you in the bed? Bump the bed, sit up on the side of it and work out. See, many of us want to take a leap when all we can really do in the moment because of the pain is take a step. Take a step. Lavish my prime. I always enjoy seeing your journey. This is such a beautiful, reflective, transparent sharing. Thank you. You're so welcome. I'm grateful to be here. I pray that it helps someone listening. When God delivers us, we should want to share. You are so right, Lavish, and that's where I'm at. I just hope I say something that'll make you go dig deeper, whether they watch it in the playback or join now. Thank you for sharing. You are so welcome. Love you so much, Lavish. Thank you for being here, Lavish Mom Prime. Because the goal is I just want you to get something. It's not about you being with me. It's about you being somewhere where it matters to you. Because I know what it's like. Remember, I was willing to do it till my death. See what I'm trying to prevent for many is for you not to have to be afraid. See, do you know that I had gotten so large that I was laying in the house with my grandchildren, and I realized that if it caught on fire, I couldn't get them out. I realized that because of my health and my size, if I needed to get them down the steps, I couldn't do it. I realized if someone went to snatch My grandbabies, when we were out and about, I couldn't chase them. I realized if we were at the house and my baby got injured and he or she needed CPR, I couldn't get down on the floor and give them the breath that they needed because I didn't have enough of my own. You see, I realized some things about this. I'm happy being a big girl. See, it wasn't about that anymore. It was about what value is my life adding, not just to me, but to my seeds. Day 41. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I don't want to break nobody down. I don't want nobody crying at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to get back in line. I don't want to get out of line because sometimes I get out of line and the Heavenly Father, He gets to tapping on my shoulders and being transparent with me and giving me some information, and I begin to share it. And I don't want to do anything that may be hurtful. I want to share with you just my experience, strengths, and hopes. I don't want to make you feel any type of way. I want you just to take what you like and leave the rest. That's all I'm asking. I don't want to thank you guys so much for the follows, the likes, and love. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. That is not my character. I want to give you something. Take what you like and leave the rest. Day 41. We're reading today again from 365, David Komalafi. If you don't get the titles, love bugs, just message me and I'll drop that title for you, okay? 365, Fear Not. Our second book we read is Melody Beattie, Journey to the Heart. This book is Facing Fear. It's a biblical-based book. This book is a non-denominational book written by the #1 international best-selling author of Codependency No More, Melody Beattie. She shares openly from her heart. She walks you through a journey of looking at your relationships, looking at your thinking patterns, looking at healing, and opening yourself to being a better. Good morning, Dally. Good morning, Tara. Good morning. Is it Akasak? I can't say your name, baby. I'm so sorry, but welcome in. Good morning, Chris. She talks about how we heal relationships while healing ourselves, while taking a journey through the heart, journeying through your own heart. Remember, much of what's happening for many of us is because it's in our hearts. Okay? You can't be bitter, scared, or lonely, and afraid unless that's actually dwelling in your heart. You walking around here mad, that's in you. You walking around here bitter, angry, starting chaos, always degrading somebody, worried about what they're doing. That's in your heart. You got to get that together. You got to get with that. Good morning, Jackie. You got to get with that. Always causing problems. I got to let her know. No one wants to hear your opinion because you ain't letting yourself know. You always talking about somebody else's stuff. Talk about your own stuff and see how that works out for you. Because that's what I had to start doing. I stopped trying to save people and I started trying to save Kenya. See, I spent a whole bunch of my years coming from that old broken, victimized home. I spent a whole lot of time trying to save other people because I thought that's the only way I could get accepted and loved. So I spent years and years and years seeking out friendships to save you, seeking out relationships to save you and fix you and give you all I got and be broken and hurting. You never did all that for me, but I was always out there giving 20. I'm giving 200%, you giving 5. But that's okay. I don't do it because I think people should do it back. That's a lie. That's a lie. The best form of giving is giving with no expectation. So if you never ever see, here, I get a thank you, you're going to be all right. See, you realize if you do something, you get upset because they didn't say thank you, then you still didn't do it with the right intention. It says give with no intention, even including the one of getting a thank you. Because some people don't know how to say that. You can do until you blue in the face and never get, I appreciate you. You have to have that in yourself already. I had to learn that. I had to learn that it has to be in me. It has to be in me. If I'm always feeling like people are staring at me and looking at me, that's because there's something wrong with how I feel about myself. If I always think everything everybody else says is they're coming for me, it's something wrong with me and my interpretation of the way I'm dealing with people. If I think everywhere I go, people are jealous of me, am I jealous of me? Or am I so juiced up and faked up on my own victimized, jacked up facade that I actually believe that? I used to go places and think people were watching me. And when after I stayed there a while, I realized everybody was doing their own thing and no one gave a hot damn about me. I realized that people were so caught up in their own chaos, drama situation that they were not concerned about mine. And that the ones that was, I needed to be watchful. I quickly learned that the more mature I became, the less chaos and drama I had in my life because I responded differently. I learned that situations are going to happen regardless of where I'm at or what I'm doing, so I have to decide how I'm going to respond at all times. Good morning, Miss Boyd. How are you? Good morning, Red Vanilla. Good morning, Nisi. Thank you guys so much for the follow. Thank you for the loves. Good morning, Ham Emilio. Good morning. We love, I think it's Milk Marie. We love Milk Marie. Raquel, good morning. Good morning, Hawk. Good morning, S Redwood. Good morning. Good morning. I had to begin to deal with me because I wanted my only problem to be my weight. But what I learned, it was so much more than that. And when I became truthful and honest with myself and really began to deal with my issues and the way I viewed the world, that's truly when I got free. That's truly when the food noise stopped, when the craze and the obsessions lessened. It's when the countertransference and the restrictive behavior lessened. It's when I became willing to learn more, to do more, and to be more for myself. It was when I began to release these previous belief systems about who I thought I was. The problem is what I thought was based on what I experienced. And because all of my experience had mostly been wrapped up in pain, trauma, and loss, that is what I mostly thought about. I had created a persona through pain, loss, hurt, and abandonment. Because that's all I had experienced. Yes, there were happy moments there. But because the bolder moments were painful, hurtful, and lost, I suffered internally. Because I'm a Black woman and I need to get it together and push through. So I spent a lot of time sucking up a lot of things that were absolutely detrimental to my health, mentally and physically. Oh, that's so good because our responses do often cause the responses we receive. When we change, the things and people around us change. You're right. Yep, Lavish. On the money, period. In my program, we call this tapping the like button. When someone says something that we feeling all the way to our spirit, we tap the like button. In the air in our Zoom, you'll see all the women, a screen full of women doing this. We'll all be in alignment with what's happening. We'll say, ooh, ooh, coach, yep, coach, yep. Because many of us are strong and people see our strength. Good morning. Good morning. My favorite nail artist and tech in the world. How are you? Because we're told so often to you got this. You're strong. You're going to be okay. Sometimes we don't want to know we're going to be okay. Sometimes say fall out. Sometimes say lay down somewhere and scream. But we have to always so fast get over it. We're never allowed a moment just to sit in it. I call it the 7-minute pause. I believe we need to give ourselves 7 minutes when something happens to just understand it before we have to force ourselves to keep dealing with life. We need that opportunity to grasp our mind around it and then to get into action. Many of us see a problem, run into action. We don't engulf ourselves in understanding it so we can have a clear way path out of it. So we find ourselves making very quick, fast, and rash decisions to solve a solution that if we had to step back, it was never a real problem. That was for somebody. Day 41. It is written, he mocketh at fear, and it is not all frightened. Neither turneth he back from the sword. Job 39:22. The principle for today says, those who mock their fear would not be frightened by it. Those who mock their fear will not be frightened by it. Those who mock their fear would not be frightened by it. Henceforth, I refuse to be mocked by fear in the name of Jesus. I know that I used to, when I was afraid of, like, say, trying new things, I would always talk about how afraid I was of that new thing so that I wouldn't do it. Catch that. So when I first started working out, when I first started losing weight, I was paralyzed, right? And so because I hadn't used my legs in so many years, I never thought I'd ever be able to go to the gym again or bear weight on my legs. And so all I would think was, since I'm never going to be able to walk again, I need to figure out what I can do with my upper body. So when it came time for me to start to bear weight again on my legs, I would tell them, no, I can't do it. The fear of me thinking that I was, because I had been dropped before. That's how I lost my teeth on this side. They were already brittle from bulimia and purging. But when they dropped me, when I weighed about 540 pounds, they dropped me trying to stand me up, and I cracked these teeth, and they had to be surgically removed, the 3 to 2 right here. Okay. When after that happened and they went to teach me how to walk again, I wouldn't stand. I didn't know if I could because I hadn't for 4 years, but it didn't matter because the fear inside of me from them dropping me on my face was so large that I only talked about not willing, not wanting to. I'm not doing that. Nope, I feel less time. How many of you are doing that right now in your life? You went to the gym, had a bad experience. I'm not doing that no more. You went walking, sprained your ankle. You ain't been walking since. You got on the vibration plate and shook your body too hard and you was hurting afterwards, so you ain't got back on there since. You had cut out sugar and you was doing real good. And I don't know, somebody passed away. You start eating cakes and cupcakes again at night and you ain't stopped since. You was meditating every morning, getting up, thanking God, praying and writing in your journal, and you saw a difference. Something happened. You slept in one day, somebody made you sad, you fell into a depression and you never came out. Some of us been functioning inside an actual live whole depression, going to work every day and ain't came out of it yet. The year changed, but our emotions didn't. Some of us are still getting up, going to work, coming home, doing nothing with our own dream. We done breathe life into somebody else's dream for 8 hours, but we too tired to come home to breathe any life into our own dream. Golden, thank you. Thank you, Golden. Thank you so much, Golden. Welcome to the live. Welcome in. If you're new, drop a heart so I can shout you out. Safe spacer, welcome in. Queen, I see you, baby. Thank you for shouting me out and loving me on them likes. I thank you for tapping that like button this morning. Everything I offer in my life isn't just for the betterment of those who find me. It's for me. You know, all the things I promote and share, I use them. I follow my own program. I have to. I'm a food addict. So if I don't stay in a program, I will be outside getting it in. I will be mukbanging on all these platforms. All 5 of these platforms, we will be mukbanging on a regular. They done made eating like that. Okay. I was eating like that in secret. They done made eating whole pieces, ordering whole pieces that the pieces you get for catering. From like a New York pizza, they cut them in a small sizes. It feeds like 20 people. They made that normal. Like that TikTok make that normal. They made it where I can sit here and eat like that. I'm so glad I'm clean and sober. Oh my God. Because they done gave me permission to sit and eat whole bowls of just food randomly. Oh, y'all. Let me review these comments, y'all. Gotta be safe around here. T.I. shared with us and said the elephant with the rope around the leg. Of fear. Golden, oh, you have a real testimony for real. I love this live. Thank you so much for being here, Golden. I got you back. Boom, and done. Thank you so much for being here. Being held back by a rope, and even when it's removed, you're still holding it. Yep. And that's the trick. Some of us aren't even living in the situations that got us to where we are, but we act like we are. Some of us aren't getting beat anymore by that man, but we walk around like we're still in a domestic violence situation. Some of us are no longer in that verbally abusive situation, but because we're still verbally abusing ourselves, we still living like we in that situation. As though the rope is holding you back. Amen, TR. Thank you so much, TR, for the gifts. Thank you for the love. Thank you, Vera. Welcome in. Thank you, Crochet Queen, for the likes. Because what happens is if we aren't careful, we're still living in the thing we think we made it through. For example, have you ever thought you forgave somebody? This is for somebody in the room right now. Have you ever thought you forgave somebody And what happened is you saw them again, and that uncomfortable feeling that you got the last time you was with them is back, and it's bigger than it was before. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Hold on, let me close the blinds. The sun is blinding us, y'all. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? That feeling, okay? That feeling that conjures up. Oh, somebody just said, can we see you? Yes, this is what I look like. This is what I look like. Boom. No shaper, regular undies. As you can see, I wear granny panties. I don't have a lot of large stomach. This is all I got. There's no secret apron belly that's going to fall down. You guys know I'm into natural weight loss and skin rigidity. Rigidity, if you're new here. I do support all forms of weight loss. Don't get it wrong. Just because I'm natural doesn't mean I'm not against any form of GLPs. I'm not against weight loss surgery, post and pre-op. I work with patients of all arenas. What I am against is when you engulf in a weight loss and wellness journey and you don't include your mental health or your mindset so that you can actually get the help you need and see the changes you're looking for. That is the one thing I'm against. Been there, yes, ma'am, been there. Yes, queen. And that feeling, and every time you see them, that feeling comes up. You know what's happened? You still in unforgiveness. And that's not a bad thing. It just means that the way they hurt you, you can't downplay it the way you thought you could. Did y'all catch that? Catch it. That's for somebody. Well, all that's happening is what happened hurt you more than you thought. And although you're working on being in forgiveness to be forgiven, the problem is because you weren't able to fully express how hurt you were, there's still unresolved forgiveness because you never got to really say how it hurt you on a deep level. Sometimes we have to be okay. Thank you so much for the gifts, love bug, to go right on back. And even if we resolved it, and even it doesn't mean going to the person that hurt us, but say with somebody, say, listen, this situation happened and I need to talk through it because I'm being emotionally aroused when I'm around this person again. Because you choose to talk it out with someone safe, you can now go to the person you're trying to go to without it being accusatory or victimized. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can say, sis, you know what? I had this thing happen with so-and-so, and I thought I was over it. And then you pick somebody wise. You don't pick nobody messy. And then you tell them your real truth. For me, one time I thought I was over something, and what had happened was I was leaving out a part of what had made me feel weird with the person. I kept skipping over it. I didn't want to tell her that she made me feel abandoned like my mother did. So what would happen is every time I would talk to her, I would not tell her all the things going on with me because I didn't want her to make me feel like that again. So I processed it with my therapist and I went back to her and I said, hey, you know that one time? And guess what happened? When we start talking about that event, she also shared with me that there were things on her end that she'd misinterpreted, that she hadn't resolved. And it grew our relationship. It changed us for better women. It helped me in that relationship and in other relationships. It gave me permission to tell my good girlfriends, the ones I call my sisters, that when I hurt them and when they hurt me, we get to talk about it. Yeah. If I hurt one of my girls or hurt one of my sisters, they get to tell me about it. They get to come to me and tell me about it. And only thing I get to do is say, I apologize. I'm sorry. How can I be better? That's all I get to do. That's adult. That's healing. That's hope. That's serenity. That's peace. It's not my job to downplay why you're hurt or why I hurt you. It's my job to receive where you're coming from, accept it with love, hope, and pray that I can do better. That I can do better. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because my intention is never to hurt or harm. And if you're really coming from a space of never to hurt and harm, then it doesn't hurt you to be wrong, and it doesn't hurt you to apologize, and it definitely doesn't hurt you to be corrected. It doesn't at all. Many of us don't want to be wrong, and some of us are walking around wrong every day, and you need to be told, you wrong. Yep. Indeed you are. And I'm sure you have a crowd that's accommodating you in your wrongness, but sometimes we need to accept that we're wrong. That the choice we made wasn't the best choice. That what we did was bad. That action we made was out of line. It was inappropriate. Sometimes we have to accept that we was the one that made the mistake that caused the problem to start the heat. We have to say that that I should have never done A and B wouldn't have happened. It is the real acceptance, the whole acceptance. Second verse. I mock my fear and claim victory in Jesus' name. Mock it. Declare and decree that you ain't afraid no more. Declare and decree that, you know what? I was afraid to tell people how I feel, but in 2025, the least minimum thing I'm going to do for myself is when I feel uncomfortable in a situation, I'm going to safely say to a person, is this making me feel weird? Even if in that moment I can't find the words, even if in that moment I can't find what I'm actually trying to say, I'm going to take that pause and say, this is making me feel weird. You with me, Queen? You with me, Crochet? You with me, Tan? Welcome back. Good to see you. Ahmed, welcome back. Hey, Miss Clyde. Good. Welcome in. Sharon. Pearly. I'm going to say to myself, I'm no longer willing to just be afraid. I have to be willing to do something. Okay. Let's take a poll. Hey, BL, how are you? Let's take a poll. We're going to take a poll. How many of you right now set a goal in December to start doing something in January and still haven't fully doubled down on it? You can drop a heart. You can, let me see, drop a heart. You can tap the like button. I want to see. I just want to take a kind of a preview. Okay, guys. I want to get a kind of a preview of where we are. I want to know. I want to get an idea. Okay, Crochet, I see you. You got to go. You ain't got all the way started. Anybody else got to go and you ain't got all the way started? I mean, Queen, I see you, Queen. Okay, anybody else? Go. You ain't got all the way started. I see the like button flying up. Okay, you got to go. You ain't got all the way started. Listen to me. Listen to me. You listening? Okay, hear me. See me. You got 24 hours. You got 24 hours. You got 24 hours. Okay. You got 24 whole hours. What are you willing to give today? I didn't say tomorrow. I didn't say next week. Are you willing to give 15 minutes? Are you willing to give 5? Are you willing to only give 20? Can your mind capacity only handle 20 minutes towards your goal? Give the 20. Have you wrote it down? And what's the first thing you need to do? Many of you got a business and need a website, but you ain't even researched where you can get a domain. Research the domain. Many of you got merch in your house that you need to sell, but don't know how to sell it. You don't need a e-commerce to sell your stuff. You can do a post. Just like you post that motivational post every day, post that item in your house you're trying to sell. Why would you not? Everybody else does it. There's no rule. There's no rule that said that there's nobody that won't what you like. That's what you created. You think that. Well, everybody else is doing it, but they're not you. Yeah. Everybody else is doing it. You're right. Everybody else is doing it. Everybody. Did you know when Nike and Adidas came out, there was brands way before them, older than them? There's older brands than Nike. You know that, right? But Nike didn't stop being Nike. Right? Right? Does anybody remember Winn-Dixie? Y'all remember Winn-Dixie? Winn-Dixie was everywhere. Winn-Dixie didn't stop being Winn-Dixie because Kroger got bigger. Winn-Dixie hung it out until Winn-Dixie got bought by somebody else. Winn-Dixie, the people of Winn-Dixie actually still own a grocery store. They don't own Winn-Dixie no more. You catching the drift here? Catch it. It doesn't matter what it started. You might have started out, I don't know, you might have started out selling lashes online. And maybe you learned from doing the lashes online or ordering the lashes and selling them. You might have learned that you really like selling wigs. You might have learned that you really like doing makeup. You might have learned that you really like helping people find resources. You might have learned you like helping people do credit. You might learn that you help people get in school, get college education funding. You might help people help people get grants. But if you never look at anything else and all you talk about is what you wish you could be doing, then now you got is a bunch of wishes. And we all got those. What sets you apart? What will set you apart in 25? Good morning, Shy Girl. What will set you apart in 25? What will you do different in 25 than in 24 that will set you apart? Good morning, Queen Antoinette. Good morning, Lady BB. Or will you wake up tomorrow and say the next day is a better day? And will you wake up the next day and say the next day is a better day? Don't let your dreams slip out of your finger because you run out of time. Many of you have deadlines for stuff that paperwork need to be turned in, and you're putting it off onto it all to only miss the deadline. Procrastination is a form of fear. Lackadaisicalness is a form of fear of success, a form of success acceptance. Many of us haven't followed in that dream because we're actually afraid of what success would look like because we're afraid we'll lose it. Don't fear something you ain't never accomplished yet. Some of us are actually scared of success, but yet we've never accomplished a level of success to bring us in that level of fear. That's why we get to keep going. I don't care if you started 10 times and failed 11. Get up 12. That's what we're doing. Get up 12. You know, when I'm working on a new program or growing a service I want to offer the girls, I always go back to Walt Disney and the 301 banks. When I reach out to a medical facility or office and I share with them what I want to be able to offer their patients, and they say, well, we don't want to offer that to our patients yet. I got to figure out another way. I believe in order to provide patients with the proper mental health services, doctors' offices have to provide them with the resources at the gate. They can't provide that at the gate if there's not enough people who've lost the weight naturally and who obtain the educational and the educational and licensing to do that. Okay? That's why I'm so passionate. Today's reading. You're free to follow your heart. Oh, I didn't read this before. So the fact that I'm on y'all neck about following your heart, I didn't, okay? But I know you think I did. I know some of y'all in these lives think I'll be rereading these, pre-reading these, and I do not. I'm literally speaking all from my personal experiences, my education, 23 years of behavioral health experience, and this old heart of mine that I've worked extremely hard for the last 10 years to heal. And I'm still healing every day. Okay, here we go. No one has taken your freedom away. Wait a minute, I'm going to drink some coffee. I'm getting nervous already, y'all. Tap the like button. If you're in my TikTok shop, today we are featuring the journal, which we are doing an entry. We're doing a reading, and there's sections in the journal that you track these readings that we're actually doing. So that's why the journal is tagged today, guys. So if you're in a TikTok shop, that journal is tagged. It is a discount on it, I believe, and there's actually free shipping, I believe, as well. I'm going to read that again. No one has taken your freedom away. You may have been, okay, this is too good. Okay, I ain't going to keep interrupting the read. Hold on. Is everybody sitting down? Because this is going to get into you. Let me get some of that coffee again. This is going to get into you. No one has taken your freedom away. You may have relinquished it for reasons known and unknown. But you've always been free to choose. I was just saying how it's a choice. Okay, never mind. And you have been choosing whether or not you have been conscious of your choices. Good morning, Jazz. For many years, you chose not to be free. Are y'all hearing it? Yeah, you know what? Y'all not hearing it. Then you felt stifled. You groused and rebelled. I'm going to read it again. And you have been choosing whether or not you have been conscious of your choices. For many years, you chose not to be free. Then you felt stifled. So you groused and rebelled. That was an important part of your journey. It helped you break out of your prison, loosen the chains around you. Now you see the truth. You have always been free. You have always been free. How many of you have felt like you couldn't stop something or couldn't change something or couldn't switch something up because you felt like you had to stay in that situation? How many of you lovely souls have felt literally stuck in a situation and felt like you were not free? and you couldn't breathe, you couldn't move, you felt stifled, and you became angry and rebellious and upset that you were stuck there. Thank you, Haley. Thank you for the likes, my loves. Good morning, Gwendolyn. How many times have you found yourself in that very moment where it felt like you were being suffocated by your circumstances? You were being choked at the near neck, seeking survival. Today's quote says, celebrate the breaking of the chains. Celebrate your freedom and share it joyfully with others. Tell yourself, tell others too, that you're free to trust and follow your own heart. You are free. You have always been free. And I don't know about you, but I'm going to speak from my own personal experiences. When I weighed 592 pounds, I was indeed in prison. And nothing about that woman you see, no matter how much I smiled, no matter how much I made you laugh, no matter how confident I was, no matter how cute my hair was, no matter how cute my outfit was, no matter how much money I made, I did not feel free. Because what you saw in the cute outfit, the long hair, the pretty nails, the beat makeup, the long lashes, what you did not see is the shortness of breath, the achy backs, the pains, the irritable bowel, the gallbladder issues, the insomnia, the sleep apnea, the body aches, the depression, the anxiety. What you didn't see is the sores, the wounds, the pressure wounds on my skin. What you didn't see is the nights where I sat and compulsively overeat till vomiting. All you saw was a big, cute girl, so you thought that was in. You didn't know that I was dying on the inside. So every compliment that you gave me telling me I look good only magnified this hell that I was living in. Because now I'm battling between you who think I look good and me who knows that I'm dying on the inside. I'm battling between the outside gratification I'm seeking from you as a plus size woman to the woman inside who's small and meek and beat down to the ground. I'm stuck in the middle of an identity and I cannot find my way out. I'm stuck between being the big, happy, funny girl and wanting to be just the basic, regular, healthy girl. See, I want to go to the restaurant and fit in the booth. I want to make sure that the bathroom stall can hold me on the toilet. I want to get in my girlfriend's car and not watch it go all the way down to the ground. I want to not have to park at the front of the store. I want to park at the back. I don't want to dread an event because I can't walk that far. I can't stand on my legs that long. I don't want to dread shopping around the holidays because I need to make sure there's a place to sit down. I want a real life. I want an existence. I don't want my girlfriends to always have to cater to me because I'm the big girl of the group. I don't want to be left out of invites and trips because I can't fit into the size of whatever they're trying to do. You see, being big and confident may be in for many of you, but big and confident led me to having 30 days to live. See, big and confident blew up that facade that no matter how big I got, I was good simply because y'all thought I was cute in my clothes. But the truth to the matter was nobody was telling me how cute I was when I had a heart attack at 592 pounds. All of the "our cutes" went away. All of the "you look good" went away. When I was laying up in the hospital bed at 592 pounds in a hospital gown, you all weren't telling me how cute I was anymore. When the tubes was coming out of my body at 592 pounds, you weren't telling me how pretty I was to be a big girl anymore. You see, you was only loving me as a big girl when I was pretty with my nails and my wigs and my lashes. When I became the big sick girl, you saw me as pitiful and shameful and told me how you was praying for me and you hope I found my way to help thee. But you don't realize that you helped me get where I was. See, go on and unfollow me if I'm hurting your feelings because I'm going to talk about it. See, what you didn't know is every compliment you gave me as that sick woman right there, it fed into an ego. An ego that neglected and accepted the pain, the medical alarms that were going off in my head. It made me ignore the suffering. It padded it. It made it seem small, because as long as I did it better than you, and I wore it like you, and I had them nails on and that hair swinging, and then the face beat to the gods, I was somebody. But see, what you didn't see is at night, when I removed the makeup and the lashes and the wig and the girdles, because I wore 3, I was a big ball of depression. See, when I removed all of that, you weren't there to still tell me I was beautiful. You see, once I took off the girdle, or maybe you learned that I had some scary disease from being big, like elephantitis or lymphedema or HP, all of a sudden now you're disgusted by me, and all of a sudden your feedback was, if you lose weight, you'll be better. This is for somebody. All of a sudden, the advice went from how beautiful I was and how confident I was to tips on herbs and stuff like that. All of a sudden, all of these people who was once loving me for how confident I was and how inspirational I was, now all they had was, I'm going to pray for you, and tips on what herbs to take. See, you see how crazy that works. You didn't have no tips for me when I had my lace front wig on and my nails and my lashes at 592. You wasn't talking to me about herbs and calorie counting. You was too busy pumping me with false confidence and false hope that I could sustain such a size and such a body at the age of 25. See, I'm going to say it out loud. You see, and today I think about the fact that I was willing to live like that, and how I had nieces and nephews who were 300 and 400 pounds at the age of 13 and 14 years old. See, this beast inside of me has been genetically passed down. And I don't mean through the genes, I mean through the behavior, the thinking, the actions, the belief systems, the culture. You see, this demon is bigger than what you think. I wish it was as small as the number on the scale, but this thing has a culture around it. And see, the problem with the culture we've created around this weight loss thing is it's abusive. And body shaming and guilt shaming and gaslighting related. You know, if you ask me, if you go to a doctor and somebody tell you is all you got to do is do this and you'll never gain weight again, that ain't gaslighting. But who am I? I don't want to cause no problems. Let me shut up, because they'll start blocking me and flashing me with warnings if I get too jazzy for y'all. They put me off, y'all. They'll start giving me these little things on the screen when I get too crazy on here, and I don't want to get us put out. I don't want us to get evicted. Today, we're not going to get evicted, girly girl. Rabbit, we're not going to get evicted today, okay? XX dark, XX 911, we're not going to get evicted today, okay? We're going to follow the rules. Okay, Rabbit, we not going to get evicted, Crochet. Coach is going to stay chill. If you're new here, thank you so much for being here. My name is Coach Kenya. And just for the preferences to give you just some safety and know that it is safe in the things that I'm sharing. I myself am a retired therapist and professional counselor of about 20 years. I started my weight loss journey 10 years ago from a hospice bed. So not only do I bring with you a plethora of education, I have my master's degree in over 10 years in behavioral analysis and study human behavior. And I've been doing this thing I've been doing right now in front of you for about 10 years straight. I did start off offline, and it's just been in the last 4 years that I've opened it up to the public. I was a private outpatient service that was offered to upper level clients in the professional corporate world. in terms of weight loss, etc. But now I've opened that up to basically an everyday woman who wants to look at her mental health and her wellness journey in a different light. We do look at all components. We do look at the economical, social, and the family, familial connection to your weight loss and wellness journey. So it's not just the diet program. It actually is a therapeutic weight loss community and a program where you are asked to come forth and do the work all around. And so thank you for being here. Let's see, I got my master's degree in 2004. I am one of those people that came all the way. I went to high school, and from high school, I graduated from high school a day after one day I went straight to college. And the day I graduated from college, the next day I drove out to Arizona and I pursued my master's degree. So I'm one of those people that went all the way, all those years. I did the 12 years straight through. And then I turned right around and did my 4 years, my 4.5 years of college. And then I turned right around and I did 2.5 years. So I'm one of those people that went to school for those whole 15, 16, 17, 18 years straight to achieve my education. And of course, if you know anything about the industry and the particular field that I'm in, you have to do what they call continued education credits. So I've been really big on that for many years. I believe that there's so much knowledge and information we need to have when in this particular field. So I'm constantly increasing my scientific knowledge and information, reviewing studies and research related to weight loss. I do look into all the medications that they offer and the services available, which is one of the reasons why we've actually created a support system for those people who do take injectable medications for weight loss, because we found that there's a grave deprivation in terms of there being a mental health support for those individuals and someone who can support them through the side effects, because that's not something your doctor does. They don't walk you through how to get the side effects down and what to do on day 1, day 2, day 30. And so I do like nursing, but I actually was in school to be a PA. But all of my my knowledge is mostly in mental health. I do have a little medical knowledge predominantly because I was actually in school for physician's assistant on my way when I got sick the second time. So I worked for till 2009. I worked in the mental health industry, and I got excited. And so I went back to school to become a physician's assistant. And in my second semester of renewing my higher education credits for the PA program, the bridge program that I was in, I had a heart attack in a class. And that's when we learned about my blood clotting disorder. A clot had moved to my heart and stopped my heart. And that was kind of the beginning of another just really rough medical situation that went back really fast. I then lost my ability to walk, and it just went downhill quickly. And so as a result, I kind of spent 4 years in hospice, which is the picture that you see of me. I'm actually in a hospice bed, and I was on a feeding tube. And so this journey for me has been quite a whirlwind. But what I want to tell you is no matter where you are in your actual journey, I need you to know that you can do it. I need you to know that if God can do it for me and people like me, he'll do it for you. Yes, Rabbit, I was in hospice, and it is them. And you know what the problem was? My mind was intact, but my body was shutting down from being so obese, and I have a clotting disorder. So I was getting a lot of clots because I was so heavy in my blood flow. Did you know that when you're larger, all that viscosity of fat on your body, on your limbs, did you know your blood flow can't properly flow? That's why when y'all tell me stuff like, I don't want to lose my thighs, I just want to lose my stomach. You know, weight loss doesn't work like that. You can't talk to fat and say, okay, just leave my legs, just leave my, no. The goal is supposed to be, you got to get your whole body healthy, guys. Your whole body. Because I want you to think about does your blood vessels get bigger when you gain weight? No, they stay the same. The only thing gets bigger is what's around them. Your bones do not grow. That whole I'm big boned, no, you're not. Go get a body scan. You will see that your damn bones is the same size as everybody else's. You're only, it's like there's regional people that are taller, but that doesn't make their bones bigger. You guys are getting taller mixed up with bigger. Do you understand what I'm saying? No, what happens is when I was a little girl, I came from a community where if you were a fat kid, they immediately start calling you big boned. If you were a big kid, They said it was because your daddy was tall and you were big boned. Okay, so what's this called then? Because that's not big bone. Make it make sense. And I don't know if you know, but this wrist is the same wrist on this person right here. My wrist didn't change. It's the same wrist. Same. This throat is the same throat. This chin, it's the same chin. This is the same chin. My neck, my face bones didn't get smaller. It's the same bones. Make it make sense. But my whole life, they kept telling me I was big because I was big boned. So I kept eating like a big boned person. Do you hear the psychological gaslighting? Okay, I'm getting off for y'all. Have a good day. I'm serious.